Hello friends, welcome to AQ by S YouTube channel. This session is a part of our quick revision series Prelims Atulya. In today's session we'll discuss about federalism. So before we dive into details, I would want you to look at the map after independence, just after independence, and then compare that map with present day map. So you will observe so many changes. Okay, so things have changed, names of states have changed, boundaries have changed, and these changes tell us a story. Okay, so these changes are because of the functioning of the federal structure that we have. These changes are because of the federation that we have in our country. So let's try to know what this federalism is. See, federalism, it is an institutional mechanism under which we have two sets of polities. Okay, so there are two political systems. So one political system at national level, okay, another political system at regional level. Okay, so these are two polities, and these two polities are independent. Okay, they are autonomous. So it's not like that this polity, let's say this polity is P1, this polity is P2. Okay, so this political system, it is at national level, and this political system, it is at regional level. Now this P2, the central system is P1 and P2 is the regional system. So regional system, this political system is not dependent upon the central government. It is not dependent upon P1. So you have to understand these are two independent political systems. Now they derive their power from the common source. So what is this common source? This common source is constitution. Okay, so be it national government or regional governments, they derive their power from one common source, and that source is constitution, the law of the land. So in our country, constitution is the supreme source of power. Okay, so regional governments and national government, they derive their power from the constitution. So you have to understand this point. Now from the prelims perspective, you must be aware of the features of the federalism. So the first important feature is that in our country, since we have the federal structure and we have the written constitution as well. Okay, so if there is any dispute or there is any confusion, suppose the central government has some confusion related to some provision, okay, related to the division of power, maybe division of power between the central and state government. In that case, central government can refer to the constitution. Okay, so constitution is the ultimate source of power, and the constitution that we have, it is a written constitution. Second thing, that in case if you have to amend the constitution, so the consent of the states will be required. Okay, so most of the provisions which will impact the states, those provisions cannot be modified without the consent of the states. So you have to understand this point. Now we have the rigid constitution, as we discussed, that we will be needing the consent of the states. So that shows the rigidity of the constitution. Okay, so this provision is related to this rigidity, rigid constitution. Okay, now there is this division of powers. It means constitution provides for three lists: union list, concurrent list, and state list. So subjects which concern the nation as whole, those subjects are dealt by the national government, and subjects which concern the region, those subjects are handled by the state governments. So you must remember that there is this division of powers. We have three lists: union list, concurrent list, and state list. Now in case if there is a dispute between the central government and the state government, In that case, central government can approach the judiciary, can knock the door of the Supreme Court, and the state governments as well, they can approach the Supreme Court. In the judiciary session, we discussed about the original jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction means that Supreme Court has the power to deal with all these cases. So only Supreme Court has the power to deal with federal matters. So the matters between central government and state governments, they are federal matters and they can only be dealt by the Supreme Court. So you have to understand all these points. Now remember that the federation that we have, the federalism that we have, it is tilted towards the central government. It means central government is slightly more powerful than the state governments. Okay, so some provisions, they depict that central government has more authority than state governments. First thing you have to understand that the definition of our country, the definition of India, it is available under Article 1. And this Article 1 describes India as a union of states, not the federation of states. Remember this federation word, this is very important and there might be a potential question on this, that federation word is available nowhere in our constitution. I want you to remember this point, that federation word is available nowhere. And the definition of our country is that India is a union of states, not the federation of states. Why? Why this word union was chosen over federation? See, the federation that we have, in this federation, the states do not have the right to secede. They cannot withdraw. Okay, so states have no freedom to secede or separate from the union. Okay, so it is not the result of any agreement. We have created all these states. So that's why we have the word union of states. Okay, but our system, the federation, it is centralized system. Central government has more powers. Okay, now so central government, you must remember that it has effective financial powers and responsibilities. Okay, so in that sense, central government is more powerful. Moreover, center appoints the governors of the states. So that point also, that governors of states are appointed by the central government. Okay, and there might be occasions where the central government can legislate on the state matters. Okay, in that case, remember, Rajya Sabha will have to pass a resolution. So if the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution, in that case, central government can legislate on a matter falling in the state list. So just remember this point, although we have discussed in our previous session this point. Okay, so and remember, some important appointments, they are also made by the central government, like election commissioner and CAG. And remember one more fact, that we have single citizenship. It means even though you might be Gujarati, you might be Jharkhandi, so you belong to some region, but you have single citizenship. So even if you have too much affection towards your region, remember, you are an Indian, you are a Bharatiya. Okay, so you might have two identities. You are a Gujarati, but you are a Bharatiya too. You are an Indian too. So we have single citizenship. So all these points are important, and we have yet to discuss some more points related to federalism. We'll do that in our next session. Okay, so if you have liked our initiative, you can subscribe our YouTube channel for more such videos, and do not forget to download these notes. Okay, these are very, very important, and you can expect at least one question from this chapter. Okay, so if you have any suggestions, you can mention in the comment section. And I'm done for today's session. I'll see you in the next session soon. Bye bye.